Okay, it's 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. The town of LaGrange acknowledges we are on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to our First Nations and key ancestors of this place and reconfirm our relationship with one another. I'll begin with the approval of the agenda.
I move to, sorry.
Any additions to the agenda?
No.
I had one under in camera that I told you about the other day.
Yeah, it should, everything should be on there. The only other thing would be introductions of new staff.
Motion by Viviana to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Seconder.
I'll second.
Seconder Terry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We move to the adoption of the minutes. The first meeting is the February 14th. Any errors or omissions? Motion to approve the minutes if there are none.
Also move.
Moved by Councilor Bashara, seconder
I'll second.
Councilor Rue. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. We'll move to the adoption of the February 17th minutes. Any errors or omissions?
I'll move to adopt as presented.
Moved by Councilor Bashara to accept the minutes. Seconder,
Second that.
Councilor Rue. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Any business arising from the minutes? Okay, if not, we'll move to committee minutes and reports. We have two sets of minutes from the Downtown Revitalization Committee. One for 19th, one on January 11th. Does anyone want to speak to those or any questions about any of the information provided in those two?
I read on one of these, I'm not sure which one it was, about the garbage cans downtown. Or like, what's the plan there? Bigger, better?
It's more about creating the policy around the improvements that are happening down there and design guidelines and things like that. So it's going to be providing some guidance as to frequency or intervals of having or just increasing the amount of waste receptacles that are downtown. So it's just recognizing that that's an issue that has been brought up and making sure that it's mentioned in the plan so that it can be addressed.
Yeah, because I checked a little bit into it before. They're kind of expensive if you,
They're really expensive. I've looked
if
into
you
them
want to
too.
get animal and human proof garbage cans are
Yeah.
crazy priced.
But there may be creative third options
Absolutely.
and solutions that can be done in some of the, because some of the bigger recommendations offer design guidelines for how revitalization and some of those improvements are undertaken downtown, so that, you know, it's using, one of the recommendations right now in the draft is natural landscapes to be creating pocket parks and using our natural landscapes to create spaces and have places of interest based around that, things that kids can climb on, you know, somewhere for people to sit that's not necessarily a bench, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more about identifying the need for more,
Yeah.
right? To avoid having garbage everywhere.
Thank you.
Okay, no more discussion. We'll have a motion to accept the minutes from the
I'll move motion to accept the minutes.
moved by Councilor Hunt, seconder Councilor Bashar. All those in favor? Okay, motion is carried. Okay. We have the minutes from the Woodlands and Waterways from their February 7th meeting. Any questions on those?
I did have one question. These minutes provide no information. Is there a source for more information, more detailed information about what's discussed at those meetings, or direction?
So I wasn't at that specific meeting, but what I can tell you that the minutes are often very brief. This topic is on in camera for discussion, and I think at that point, if the item in camera is what I believe it is, I can provide more information at that point in time.
Yeah, I can see if you have any camera items, but the history is we really don't get a lot of detail on what's being discussed and what the direction is. And maybe bring it back to the board, maybe
Yeah.
items that aren't in-camera items, and maybe just kind of give us a sense of what the direction is. Because the minutes quite often are very vague, and we really don't have a clue what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, the minutes that we shared they are what they are. If you have a concern about the minutes, funnel that through your representative on the board. But by having the minutes on here, it's your opportunity to ask the rep for further insight into anything that can be discussed. Unfortunately, I think the bulk of what would be relevant to council will be discussed in camera this evening.
I mean, especially if we're supplying funding to the organization, we really want to see the value of our work, our contribution, and so I think it's important.
I think we need to request more detailed minutes.
Yeah, I think through our representatives, we can do that tonight. I'll move to accept the minutes.
Okay, so moved by Councillor Bouchard, second by Councillor Hunt. All those in favor? Okay, motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on to business. Okay, we have 5.1, the annual report. Just a draft of that. And I just want to make a comment. It's just very well done. Great teamwork on this. I've had some outside compliments from people that have seen it, and so it's. I just want to thank the team for putting this together, and I know it's the first one, and we'll build on it. And the only the one question: are we eventually going to put the audited with that, or we don't care, or do we unaudited is fine?
I think once we get the audited info, it would be easy enough to put them in the electronic copy that we put online.
Right.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at this item. I'm kind of caught off guard. I don't know if you mentioned you guys were doing this or not, but I obviously missed it if you did mention it, and it's really digestible, which is very nice to present to the public.
Yeah, I like that it's on the website and will be available for download for anyone and everyone to see if they wish.
There is a bit of a theme, like administration has taken a bit of initiative. Some of the team wasn't here when council was able to do their strategic planning when they first began their term, but there was a number of items on there around communication strategy or increasing communication with the public, being more transparent, and also coming up with plans or initiatives that would address that. And so we've done a few things. We've had the budget open houses with some of those documents that went out. This is very similar. It's kind of the tail end of the budget open houses. Here's what we say we're going to do this year. This is what the final bookend of that essentially is. We did it. Here's how it went, and just sharing that information with the public. So thank you for the feedback, and we'll continue to build off these initiatives.
I'll move the council receive and file the 2022 Town of La Ronge annual report.
Moved by Councillor Bashura, second by Councillor Roux. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, 5.2, we got the gas tax funding allocation. I think we've got enough need in that area to ease all that up. So I think we're kind of strapped when it comes to where we can put it, but fortunately we've got lots of road fixer-uppers to do and drainage and whatnot. Need a motion to approve, I guess?
I'll move that council proceed with option A, authorize administration to apply $600,000 in funds from the Canada Community Building Fund gas tax grant to the road repairs and gravel crushing identified in the town's 2023 capital budget.
Moved by Councilor Bashara, is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
Second, Councilor Hunt, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Jordan, are you on there? See your name on there.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to reply on your vote to the motions. Okay, 5.3, tax enforcement. Lot 18, block 11. Okay, all information has been provided here.
I'll move the council approve option A, rescind motion 2023-030 to acquire title to property identified as lot 18, block 11, plan 65 BA 06035.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor of the motion? Okay, motion carried. Okay, next we have an agreement for payment of arrears.
Oh, I think that's part of that one, isn't it?
It's still,
This is, no, it's different though, this one's acquired title.
Yeah, it's going to count.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that was included in the motion.
it was, okay.
Okay, very good.
I'll move to enter into camera.
Quick question before we do. Should the motion of the February 17th meeting be repealed?
The minutes?
No, not the minutes, the motion that came of that meeting. About allocating $2.5 million to the capital budget.
Item
I think,
3.1.
like, we'll give an update in camera to the overall status, and then council can give some direction as to how they'd like to proceed if at all. With regards to that item, and then if we do need to take it off, we can bring it back as an administrative item.
Probably a good chance we're not gonna invest in that.
Yeah, I assume so, but I figure I'd let council give that direction before